Hello everyone, I am Sorcerer Mjolnir, aka Bob from Misadventures Inc., and I am coming along to give you my 5th episode, episode 4 of Mindless Meanders. And today's episode, I am going to try and get a much bigger piece of my O'Neill cylinder done, where I started off with just the ring, and then I got spokes, and eventually I got everything lined up. That was a bit of a faff. But now I feel I can do the other side of the cylinder with a connecting spoke in the centre. I'm gonna see how this goes. And without further ado, let's get cracking. So, in preparation for starting this off, I crafted up a lot of iron blocks. I chiseled them with the riveted plate texture. It looked really cool. And the first thing I'm gonna do is get building on the center spoke, and I need to there's over 17,000 blocks in here. 1796 was what I was aiming for. If I'm like that many, there we go, that many. But having some spare is always a good idea, because I'll mess up something somewhere along the lines. One other thing that I'm going to talk about a bit just now is that I have done a bit of work on automated crafting. Just because when I was doing the maths, I realised, well, one ring is 586 blocks. To create the cylinder, I'm going to require 300 times that, and that comes to 212,000 odds. So that's approaching 250,000. I then still have things like the spokes for the framing, which is quite a bit more. And yeah, when I started adding it all up, I realized I'm getting, close to 250,000 blocks, as I said earlier. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a lot of placement. Now, I've got a shulker box full of diamond blocks. Diamond chest full of gold blocks for creating the thing, but oh my word, the cylinder. But yeah, manually crafting all that up, that's still nearly 250,000 blocks of crafting, and it's not the quickest recipe, because I am using a quantum quarry to grind it down to dust, to smelt it into ingots, to turn it into a block. So then I looked up the options for auto crafting, and I found this neat table. Actually, there's a whole bunch of other options, but this one's pretty decent. The auto crafter, it works off the grid power, and I've got the speed upgrade on it. Oh no, I've not got it on that one, but I got it on that one. 4 speed upgrades, and that's just taking gold directly from my chicken farm and just making blocks. So I've got a fair bit. You see that's gone up again. So every time they poop gold, I get blocks. I also have quite a bit spare in terms of iron ore from this, so I'm probably going to use a lot of iron blocks for decoration and internal structures, because I got to do something with this. Even if I just straight smelt this into ingots without duplicating, I've got a lot of resources sitting here, which is really quite good and satisfying. Anyways, I should really head up to space and start actually building this rather than talking about it. So I'll catch you up there. And I'm done on this half of the frame. I'm pretty chuffed with it actually. So I've got that bit on the far end, which I'm hoping is exactly 300 blocks long. If I've done the maths right and done the positioning correctly, then it will be. And now just to fly myself along the central spoke, which, by the way, I've still not quite figured out what I'm going to do with the center spoke. There we go, there's the other ring. So now, if I slow down... Oh, I've lost sight of the other one, doesn't matter now. But yeah. One O'Neill cylinder frame. I'm going to go land myself over here somewhere. Now, one of the things that had me thinking for a while, so I'll sit here, is how am I gonna sort out my gold production? It's actually really not that straightforward. I've got a couple of options. I've got my golden chickens, which I don't think are going to do me enough. I set up a nice little farm to produce the chickens and make them produce gold, and then auto smelt that into everything I need. But yeah, it's a tad slow. I'll show you what I mean. Set this up. It might seem cruel, this many chickens in one place, but they're not real chickens, so onward. I created myself a powered spawner set to the golden chickens. I was quite pleasantly surprised. And why is this not rendering? Hold on a second. Let me fix my settings. Water appears to be broken. Or the rendering is broken. Right, anyway, back to what I was talking about. I've set this up to produce chickens. So if I turn this on, fingers crossed they spawn. Oh, never mind. One of them didn't spawn where he was meant to. But, come on, you. Wow, okay. Messed this up already. Right, hold on. There we go. The chickens should drift down that way. Eventually. There we go. They do resist the flow, but if I just push them a bit... Oh, that chicken hurt itself. Yep, they go down this ice water stream and land in there. And then they poop the gold, lands in the hoppers, goes into the dimensional transceiver, which seems to be working okay for now. I go downstairs, there we go, oriented right now, and I have another dimensional transceiver here. I have hoppers, which feed, I think, across then down. So the idea being it backs up through the system. So these will produce last, that will produce first. But the idea is it goes boop 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 boop, forges a block with this recipe here, and then through there into this box here. And in fact, if I just chuck that in, boom, there we go. You saw that tick up just in time. It's a very quick system because I've put the speed upgrades in here, all 4 of them. Yeah. And that's that. So hopefully I can start smelting up the gold more. I should really take them upstairs. Shuffle that. And I'll just keep swapping those boxes about, taking them up into space with me while I... Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, I added signs here because there might be other folks using my base in the near future, and I don't want them walking out there and dying because they didn't know about the danger. Because it's not good dying on Venus, as I can tell you. Anyway folks, I think that about does it. So I'm going to go wrap up. Right, well, that's the frame of the cylinder done. and I'm quite chuffed with it, to be honest with you. The time lapse, though, didn't quite go the way I was hoping it would. Just learning the ropes, really. But I still think it turned out okay, all things considered, providing in future I remember to turn off the UI. Um, and I might do a few other things, like try and expand the field of view so I get a bit more vision. Yeah, there's lots of little things and tweaks I might try and do for future things. But before I wrap this up, I just want to give a bit of a thank you to my friend John, who has provided me with thumbnails and outro sections for the videos. So yeah, if you've been watching from the beginning, which was not that long ago, you'll see that I now have some swish new thumbnails, which really do make it look quite good. So thank you, John, for those. Lastly, if you've been enjoying my little foray into YouTubing, please let me know by hitting that thumbs up button, and yeah, please do consider subscribing, maybe even leave a comment if you feel it's worth saying something. Anyways, I am Sorcerer Mjolnir. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will catch you all later.